Hey everyone, welcome back to DigiDaily. It's your boy Xanda, and we're going to jump right into it because there's a lot to talk about today, and I'm really happy. So, this episode is going to come out, we're back on that schedule, where like, the episode you're seeing today was filmed yesterday to help mitigate the fact that I was uploading super duper late, and that actually happened on accident, because yesterday's episode kept freezing my laptop when I was uploading. I don't know why. So, let's start with the X3. So the X3, we have no longer do we have, what the hell was it again? Tiger Vespamon. We have Craniumon. Such a interesting Royal Knight. When was he inducted in the Royal Knights? I don't remember. He seemed like I don't really remember him. Then again, like, my understanding of the Royal Knights was very, very limited back in the day. I only thought it was like a few, and turns out it's quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of these little dubers. So, yeah, there he is, Craniumon X, our first Royal Knight on the X3. I kind of, part of me feels like, ooh, that is, Dopplermon, I think, or something like that. Just got him recently in Hacker's Memory, or not Hacker's Memory, Cyber Sleuth. Haven't started Hacker's Memory yet. Oh, boy. Forgot that he is not what I am used to so far. Go back to 13. So, I was actually a little worried. I thought Tiger Vespamon wasn't going to evolve, but it just so happened to that, try that one more time. I thought it wasn't going to happen, but I guess because, I don't know, it just took a while. It took till less than an hour ago for him to evolve, finally. I really thought it wasn't going to happen at first. I was getting worried. But he's here. I'm just not going to make that, am I? Why is that so hard to focus? What's going on? I think this is because my camera's too close or something. Yeah, that's exactly it. Alright, but anyway. He's cool. Not my favorite Royal Knight. I know a lot of people who do really like him. He's valid. I'm not saying, I'm not going to sit here and like bash him or anything. Not my favorite, but he's not bad either. Oh, cool. I didn't think we hit it. Yeah, he looks terrifying in his X form, like absolutely terrifying. I like his X form a lot. His normal form's a little boring. I remember when he was I think he was a password Digimon on the Pendulum 20th. And he was cool enough, but I was like, yeah, whatever. But this version, super cool. I like his X form a lot. I like a lot of the newer X forms a lot. They are, takes a little getting used to, but I think they're cool. As far as, you know, this run goes, obviously, pretty much done. So, I'm not going to start a new one today. I'm going to start it tomorrow. I'm going to, I guess I'll keep Craniumon. So, I usually like keeping my first inaugural Super Mega on the X's. So, I will store him. I'll store Oryumon, and we'll start the new run tomorrow. Won't be a treated egg, but hey, that's fine. And we'll see what we get that time. But like I said, we'll start a new run tomorrow. Not today. Would make sense to do it today, since today is actually Monday. But no, we will not do it today. We will do it Sunday. Not Sunday. What am I talking about? Tuesday. I feel like there's one more thing about Craniumon I wanted to say, and it escapes me, so I guess it wasn't really important. So, Digimon's starting to roll out a lot of stuff in the wake of the release of Digimon Adventure : that's right, Digimon Adventure : because they're not calling it Digimon Adventure Sai. They're not adding any type of name to that symbol that's at the end of the logo. So it's just literally called Digimon Adventure : I don't get it either. I'm not a huge fan of it. Sai is a pretty cool name, but I mean, maybe they're keeping the name a secret. Like, maybe they're going to reveal the name after the first episode, and we'll know the meaning of that symbol. Who knows? But in the wake of that releasing this Saturday in Japan, we got a couple news. So first of all, we found out that in Netflix Japan, they're actually going to get the episode on there that following week. They'll put it on Netflix Japan, which is a pretty big deal. Netflix is pretty big. Obviously it's Japan only, but still, that's a pretty cool thing and a pretty big deal. I don't know if anything else in Japan is doing that. So that's super dope. And then, of course, we have the fact that if you have a VPN, which I do now, because one of them was on sale, because of all the stuff that's going on, which is super dope. Finally got around to getting a VPN, so if it is English subbed, which most stuff is on Japanese Netflix, I can actually support the show and watch it on Netflix the following week, which I think is awesome. So, you know, if you have a VPN and you can access Japanese Netflix, I implore you to. We have to make sure that we're supporting Digimon, because they're doing all this stuff for us, so we gotta show our thanks back and support it all. In other news, they launched Digimon Parade. They did talk about this before, and I just kind of I forgot about it, because I didn't really know what the hell it's supposed to be, and now that we've seen it, it's really cool. So you can only do it on your phone, you can't do it on desktop, which is interesting. And what it is you go to the website, it's digimon/parade.com, I believe. You set a name, you write a message, and you pick a Digimon. There's a very small selection of Digimon. They're the colored sprites from the... they're very similar to the ones they did for the DM20th, but there's some of them that aren't in the DM20th roster, which is cool. And you pick that, you pick the Digimon, you write a message, and it's like a parade. You're watching the parade, and there's a bunch of Digimon that go throughout the... they cross the screen with all these messages, and it's super cool because there's a lot of people writing messages from literally all around the world. It's not just Japanese people. There's people from South America, people from Malaysia, there's people from America, there's people from Europe, all over, which is really, really cool. They did not restrict their website, so everyone from all over can do it. I did participate. If you see me, then you see me. You should be able to see me. I'll show a picture of what I put, but I did participate, which is super cool, and I'm really excited for Digimon Adventure. In other news, and this is the big news, I'm sorry I'm getting at 7 minutes, huge news, and this is what's going to be a chunk of the episode, to be honest, is, of course, the full reveal of the Digivice from this season. It took them a while to do this. I think maybe this whole situation that's going on might have backed up, their plans as far as when they were going to release this device, because usually they release this kind of stuff a week before. They want it in stores a week before, or a couple weeks before the actual show starts. Because of all this stuff that's happening, that's probably why we haven't seen it in store shelves yet. And what that is of course, the new Digivice, which I love. I really, really love the look of it. It really looks like, and I've said this before, but it does really look like they took the original device, how it looks, and just modernized it, Like back in the day, cell phones had buttons, they had antennas and stuff like that. But nowadays cell phones do not have any of that. They have touchscreens. There's no visible antenna, and they're a lot flatter and smoother. And that's exactly what this device looks like. And I think it looks great. I really, really do. So they had it on display with all of the Digivices from previous series, including Atmon, which I'm pretty happy that they acknowledge Atmon. A lot of people like to pretend and act like it's not really in the Digimon universe, and it is. It's a spin-off, but it still counts as Digimon. It's still a Digivice, and I'm happy they showed it. Because I know there's fans of Atmon out there. So that was really cool. But the most important thing about it, and the thing that a lot of people are talking about, is one, I think the device we see behind that, in that glass case, which I'll show you. That device, I think, personally, is like the prototype toy, or maybe even the final production toy, sorry for the accent, but the device that we see in that actress's hand, or whoever that was, I think that was an actress, but that device that we see, I don't think that's the same device. I think that device, that bigger, chunkier one, is like the prop from the commercial that we saw a couple months back. That's my guess, because they do look slightly different. The one behind the screen, or in that glass case, looked a bit different in shape, and there are two spots on the side of the device around that ring, that outer ring, not the ring with the digicode on it, but the outer ring. There are some spaces. It looks like it's kind of like indented a bit, and I believe that's where they're going to put the buttons. I don't think this is actually going to be a touch device, sadly. I think it's still going to function. It looks, I mean, for them to show up with all those other devices, I'm going to assume that it's going to act similarly to those devices. So, personally, I think that they're hiding the buttons in those side ridges. So, this is obviously not the new one, this is the old one, but still, it's the closest thing to it, so I'll use this as an example. So there's that ring, that outer ring, which would be roughly around here, on the device, and this section and this section, you can see that this section is pretty, like, it looks a little transparent, so I believe there'll be lights on there, because in the video we did see that it lights up all the way around. I'm not too sure if they're going to be I'm not too sure if they're going to be able to get it to light up all around the ring, but probably definitely this section and this section are, they look like they're definitely set up to have some lights there. It's possible to get lights behind buttons too, so it might be the whole thing. They might all light up. But the sides here look really important because, you know, on this original device, this moved up, this moved down, these two are buttons. So there's this side, which I think would be up and down, and there's this side, which I'm believing is going to be A and B. That's my current harebrained theory. Everyone's focusing on the screen color too. All the devices, when they're off, none of these are a good example. Best example I can probably give you is this one. The way that it's kind of green, this green hue, a lot of the LCD-based Digivices have that kind of green hue to the actual screen when it's off, especially. It's reflective and it's green. The new device was reflective and it was green, so there's a high chance that it actually might be an LCD-based toy, which is disappointing. I know a lot of people don't want to believe that, but I mean, a lot of people have some pretty solid evidence stating, you know, that it's most likely going to be that. Which is, yeah, a little disappointing. If it's going to be an actual, like, device you can play, I'm still going to buy it. We're all still going to buy it. But are kids in 2020 going to buy something primitive like that? I don't know. I don't think so, personally. I think their best bet was to make it a colored screen, but it seems like that might not be the case. And I kind of don't know how to feel about that. I hope that doesn't affect the way it's going to sell, but again, I just feel like, I don't know, something that primitive, like, will kids even like that? Like, I feel like a kid would want a colored screen, much like collectors want a colored screen. But that screen, I mean, look at all of the devices in that background. They all have that transflective kind of screen. And here we go, looking at the new device, and it has a very similar hue to it when it's off. The Crosswars device, the screen is black when it's off because it is a color screen. So we'll see, but that's how it's looking. But I mean, those look like buttons on the side there. Those look to me like buttons, so this looks like it's definitely going to be something, you know. It didn't look, the one thing though I will say too is we didn't get a full body look of the device. We don't know how the back looks, we don't know how the sides look exactly just yet. We don't know if it's going to be really thin, because it's a pretty big device. It looks really big actually, which is good, means there's a lot of electronics in there. But it is fairly big. It looks like it actually might be bigger than the original 1999 device. So that's interesting, and we don't know, we haven't seen, like I said, the side profile, so we don't know if it's actually, like, if it's thin, or if it's just really chunky and also really thick. We have no idea. And this is always the fun part about this kind of stuff when we're introduced to new stuff, is that we don't know yet, and then we find out, and then, you know, we react from there. But my current theory is that it is another black and white LCD type device, like the older ones. It's going to have those 4 buttons. It's not going to have touch controls, but it will have those 4 buttons, and the ring around the device will light up like in the show. That's my current theory. As far as compatibility with older devices, I mean, that commercial implied that that was the case, but we'll see once the device is out, because again, haven't seen the profile yet, so I didn't see any connector ports on it when I was looking at those pictures. It didn't look like there's any connector ports, you know, the good old dock and rock, as they called it here in the States. Didn't see anything that looked like that. But like I said, in that trailer, the kid had he had the newer Digivice. He was able to fight the person who was using a 20th device. They never connect the actual devices, but still, for the fact that the Digimon that come out of there to fight that one, it seemed like that's what they were implying. So, I mean, if it is going to be a black and white device, the least they can do is make it compatible with everything else. Because that's the only reason why I can think that they would make it, you know, a black and white device, is that they want to make it compatible with all this stuff they've been releasing in the past 3 years. I mean, this is a lot of devices that maybe some kids own. I highly doubt, but maybe, who knows, maybe some kids own this stuff, and they want them to be able to play with everything, because we got the 20ths, we got the Pen 20ths, we got the DM 20ths, we got the X1, 2, and now 3, and then we have whatever the hell they're going to be making soon. So that's a lot of stuff. So, you know, again, if it's going to be a black and white LCD type device, at least make it compatible with the 2-prong devices. At least make it compatible with the older devices, because that would at least, you know, soften the blow a little bit. Because if we got, you know, a full color screen, then I would be able to swallow the pill of it not being compatible with the older devices, because that's a new device. But if it's not going to be a brand new device, and it's going to be a black and white device, and it's not going to be compatible, I mean, at that point, what the hell are we doing here? But like I said, no matter what, I'm going to be buying it, because I do like the original Digivice design. The only thing that I can afford as far as owning it is this thing, which is a keychain. One day I'll have well, I'm planning on buying the CSA Digivice, but I also one day will get the 15th. It's just so expensive. I cannot, for the life of me, justify paying that much. But you know, that's all I gotta say about the new Digivice. Hopefully tomorrow they don't drop some crazy news about everything, and like everything I'm talking about means nothing. But I mean, we'll see what happens. If it does, I'll do an update, and I'll tell you, hey, I was wrong, or I'll tell you, hey, I was right, or I'll just tell you what's going on. But that's all I gotta talk about today. Tomorrow we'll start a new run, and I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll actually be able to get Terriermon and Lopmon. Hopefully we don't have to unlock them later on, and I'm just being an idiot and wasting my time. So we'll see. If anything, I'd at least like to get Dorumon, so I can try to show off that Jawgrass mechanic and see if it's an actual real thing. So yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace!